Hello, my name is Philip Anderson from Cross-Culture Therapy and welcome to today's video newsletter. In today's video newsletter, I'll be talking about body image and depression. I've got a comment from a YouTube subscriber that is as follows. Life is far harsher for those who do not meet certain baseline looks, and for men, perhaps even more importantly, height. In fact, depression and loneliness are not always mental health issues, but instead are often just natural reaction to long-term failures and rejection when it comes to dating and relationship. I've got some information to back this person's comments up. In one study called The Relationship Between Perceived Body Image and Depression, How College Women See Themselves May Affect Depression by Hamilton, Sabrina R. Hamilton, published in the Student Journal of Psychological Science. The results were as follows. The negative correlations associated with appearance and body area satisfaction shows that as perceptions within these areas decreased, depression decreases. A positive correlation in overweight preoccupation indicates a relationship that as one becomes more preoccupied with how much she weighs, her level of depression increases. So awareness of body image is, in this case, proven to be linked to depression. I found some more information that said that over 50% of 9 to 10-year-old girls feel better about themselves if they are on a diet. Let's see here, on a diet, even though Centers of Disease Control and Prevention reports that only 18% of adolescents are really overweight. So there is a lot of information to back up this person's claim that body image has a effect on depression levels and self-esteem. This person, I believe, who wrote the comment is a man, but it is the same case for women as well. It's widely talked about on media that poor body image amongst women in particular causes eating disorders and substance abuse problems. But this is also true for men. I think it is quite easily overlooked how important appearances are to men as well, and how we become a bit of a vain society. Of course, it's good to maintain proper hygiene and good looks, but we've become a society that really values looks over substance, and there is a lot of pressure on people, in particularly young people, to maintain good looks and get even better looking. And as this person commented, there might be issues that they can't do anything about, such as their height, or there might be there might be certain aspects of their appearance that, no matter how much they try to beautify themselves, cannot be repaired or made good looking. So I've just quickly written down a list of 4 different things that you can do in order to kind of improve your mood in this case. The first relates to a video I made earlier. Must have been 2 months ago, called Choosing a Good Success Metric. Excuse me. I'll put a link to the video below, but it pretty much relates to what you choose you value in your life. Okay, so if good looks is something that you value in your life, that's something that you will constantly have to strive towards. And that might put a lot of pressure on you. And if you're not up to the task of fulfilling it, then of course it's not a suitable success metric for you. You might instead change your success metric to finding people who appreciate me for who I am, or becoming an interesting person, becoming a well-read person, or becoming a person that does the best I can with the appearance I have, becoming an active person, becoming a sporty person, becoming a well-rounded person. So it's really important to have the right success metric in life. I think if we don't think about this, and if you actually go to my video, choose a success metric, it will teach you how to do that. if a lot of people don't think about what a proper success metric is, and they just go about their life picking up what other people think is success. So what other people think is important, what other people think has to be achieved in order to be a successful and good person. And the media will undoubtedly say that you got to make a lot of money and you got to look good and you got to have high status. So those are the three things that you have to run after your entire life. And more likely than not, those three things are almost impossible to achieve. The second thing that you can do is you can work towards improving your looks. Of course, might be some things in regards to your height or in regards to other aspects of your appearance that you cannot do anything about, but that does not mean that you cannot do anything about the other aspects of your appearance. So if you try to look as good as you possibly can and you take pride in your appearance and you are well dressed and you look good and you present yourself good, then I think that can instill you with the confidence needed to make up for the other things. And I don't really think that too many people really pay attention to those things that you put value in, such as your height. I've met a lot of people and I've had a lot of friends when I was younger who were shorter, and that was something that they paid a lot of attention to and they talked about a lot, but not a lot of the people around them paid much attention to it. And it was only when that person brought it up that they used it as something that they could kind of playfully tease them about. But if that person didn't bring that up, wouldn't have brought that up, then it wouldn't have been anything that they would have talked about. And so I think a lot of the problem with appearances is that you kind of focus on an area where you are not doing good. That's kind of human nature as well, that you always want to improve yourself and you want to improve your weak points, but by improving your weak points you also focus on your weak point. That starts to consume you, and that is the main purpose of your life. And then you also obviously talk about it to other people, and that kind of, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but nobody would have talked about it and nobody would have mentioned it if you hadn't brought their attention and their focus to it. So a little bit is also perspective, and that's something that you can treat in therapy if you take that. And if you want to do that, you can just go over to www.crossculturetherapy.com and click a book a sessions tab and book a session at a time of your choice. All our sessions are exclusively online, so they can be taken from the comfort of your own home. So the second was working towards better looks. And the third is you can also work towards other skills. This person talked about long-term relationships being a problem and getting rejected, but I think that in order for long-term relationships to be long-term relationships or be successful, they are usually so much more than appearance. There's a lot about personalities matching and life goals matching and everything like this. There's different stages in a relationship as well. You have to remember that first stage is the infatuation stage, where you are basically in love with each other no matter what their personality is, and you are very attractive, you have a lot of sex with each other, and this is usually within the first 6 months, and then that fades. And then there's other stages where, then there's the kind of stage where you think about babies, you get babies, and then there's the parenting stage, and then that stage is where it's more that you are compatible as people. And then you kind of, when you get older as well, when you're like retired together and you're both of old age, then it's more about companionship, having the same values. So that the point of being attractive is only to engage the first very, very short, it's only typically short, the 6 months. And if you think that you're going to be married to a person in 25 years or the like, then it is extremely short. And you would find, and I hope this person is really watching this video, that a lot of people who are quote unquote good looking, they are good to get in good during these first 6 months, but then after these first 6 months, they find it terrible. They realize that they are not compatible with the other people. They haven't really worked on their personality. They haven't really discovered the partner's personality, and then it usually ends. So they tend to have a very tough time after the initial part of the relationship. So this is a huge problem amongst people who are quote unquote good looking or attractive. So I would very much ask the person to reflect on who they are as a person and what they can bring to a relationship and what kind of aspects of their personality they like, and maybe explore those and maybe improve on those even more, and maybe you can bring other things to the table as well if you don't think that you're that attractive. And especially for a lot of men, they can kind of bring their intelligence, their humor to the table. Of course, women can do this as well, but I think there are a lot of men who are maybe not as, it is a lot harder maybe to define what is attractive in a male straight off the bat. If you're seeing a photo, it's a lot about personality, a lot about how the person presents himself in front of other people and the like. So there's a lot of things you can do in order to improve yourself to other people as well, that goes beyond just looking good. And then I'm a bit tired, as you might notice. The last point is that looks, they ultimately fade no matter how attractive you are. Of course, the exception would be maybe Clint Eastwood. He looks cool and he's somewhere around 85 years old, but looks ultimately fade. He is less attractive now than he was when he was younger, and so will you be, and so will everybody else be. And the thing that you can carry with you throughout your life that does not change unless you make it change is your personality, your conversation skills, and the way you talk to people, your values, more than anything else, and the way you see the world and the way you make other people see the world. So think about this. Think about this as your core. This is what you present yourself to other people. This is what you present yourself to a potential love interest, about who you are and who you will be from day one to your 80th anniversary together. So prioritize personality. Of course, you can work on your looks in the within the limitations that you have. If you have those, I think it's a lot also psychological. I'm going off on a tangent here, I know, but there are a lot of very, very attractive people who think they look dreadful because they're looking at one aspect that nobody else is noticing, and they think that it's very, very, very ugly. There might be, supermodel caliber people who might look at one spot here and be totally consumed with it. And this is something psychological that you can work on with a therapist. But work on how you present yourself, both your personality and who you are as a person. And how you look as well. Like obviously keep yourself hygienic and dress reasonably well, and think about your success metric. What is yours? What is your definition of success? Also, success is a process, remember that. But what is your definition of what would make you successful in your life? And work towards it. And for that, go to my video. I will link to it in the section below. And work on other skills, as I said. And I think that's it. I hope this video helped. This was more of an advice video based on a person's feelings of self-esteem in relation to their body image. But if you have a question about depression, anxiety, phobia, relationship issues, common life dilemmas, motivation issues, and the like, then just send an email to info@crossculturetherapy.com. I would love to answer your question in a video like this, and I will keep your name out of it so you don't have to worry about being published on YouTube. And if you want to have a session with me, go over to www.crossculturetherapy.com and click a book a sessions tab and book a session there. Also, go over to our Facebook and Instagram accounts and like us there. We are, from the 1st of November, going to have a Facebook campaign where everybody who invites their friends to join our Facebook campaign and takes a screenshot of that and sends it to our email will get 15 euros off their first session. And they will also be put in a lottery where they can win a $50 Amazon gift card. So make sure you do that as well. There will be instructions on that up on our website the 1st of November. So that is it for me. Hope you had a great day and take care.